I've got to make a confession. I did something 26 years ago that I now regret. I got married. It was the year 2000, and I didn't think it through properly. I didn't fully understand and appreciate exactly what it means to make that commitment and to sign that contract. I did know that I loved her and I enjoyed spending time with her, and that was good enough for me at the time. But here I am today asking the question, should I get a divorce? And the chances are, if you're watching this video, you're probably asking yourself exactly the same question. Now, this is a conversation I've had quite a few times over the years, and I've sat on both sides of the table. So I feel like I've gained some insight into what the right choice to make will be. So if you want, do you want to go for a ride and we'll have a chat and go over the pros and cons of what the right choice to make will be. I think I need to start off by saying that this isn't going to be a big bitch session about my wife. She is a really nice person with lots of beautiful, nice qualities, and I still love her. And I haven't exactly been the perfect partner either in this relationship. And I've been accused of being selfish and self-centered a few times over the years. And I've always prided myself on that Simo only does what Simo wants to do. And if you didn't realise, my name is Simon. My friends call me Simo. My loved ones call me Sim. So, and I think there's a certain amount of honesty that comes with that, because by me only doing what I want to do means that I don't get forced into doing things by my partner. So whenever we do spend time together, do things together, it's because I want to do it. It's not because she's forced me into doing something that I didn't really want to do. And I don't ask permission from my wife to do things. If I make a decision to do something, I'm just going to do it. Of course, I'll consider her feelings and her thoughts, but ultimately, if I want to do it, I'm going to do it. And I reckon it's pussy piss week, especially when a guy does it. He has to go home and ask his missus for permission to do something. Anyway. Yeah, so I've made mistakes in relationships, and I've done things I'm not proud of. Hello. Hey. I've also come to understand that all relationships, and not just the romantic ones, is that all relationships All relationships are transactional in nature, by nature. And if we're going to be completely honest with ourselves, I think it's important to recognise this fact. We all want something from somebody else. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Take a friendship, for example. At the very core of it, it's two people who want to have a friend. Therefore, there is a transaction taking place between the two people. There is an exchange. There is an exchange of value. It's an equal exchange of value. And I think that relationships turn sour when there is an unequal exchange of value. Because that means you're basically getting used, and no one wants to be used. There are some kinks out there that do participate in that, so maybe not everyone. Use me, Daddy, use me. And you know, a successful marriages work. And I think both people need to have a willingness to work at it. And the couples that do work at it, I reckon they're the successful ones. They're the ones who stay together. Because in all relationships, you're going to have a whole big bag of problems that inevitably show up over time. Whether it's work, whether it's money. Money's a big one, isn't it? Yeah. Kids, whether it's families, or people's expectations of you, or your partner's expectations of you. So all sorts of problems that it's going to rear its ugly head. And you've got to be willing to work at them. And if one of you is not willing to work at it, it won't work. Full stop. I also think there's a price to pay in marriage. You pay emotionally, you pay financially. But if you're buying something you want, paying for something that you want, it's value well spent. I had to look up the statistics, and in Australia, approximately 30% of all marriages end in failure. And anecdotally, that seems about right to me. That's a lot, eh? That's a lot. My parents' marriage failed. And when parents break up, it can be tough for a lot of different reasons. There's a hell of a lot to consider. And at least I don't have kids, because it's bloody tough on kids. bloody tough on them when mum and dad breaks up. Even when the kids are growing up and they're adults, it's tough on them, causes problems. Do you remember what it was like being a kid? And you look at adults and you think, wow, they're adults, they know everything. They know what they're doing. They got their shit together. And now that I'm an adult, I realise all adults are just big kids. And we've all got some kind of growing up to do. And when married couples break up, it's a decision that impacts a lot more people than just the couple who've decided to split. I know my family would miss my wife. They love her. And she's part of the family now. She's a sweet, kind person and everyone loves her. I'm the prick of the relationship. If my wife and I were to split, I'd miss her family too. I'd miss my mother-in-law, believe it or not. And that's no lie. Honest to God. She's an amazing woman. When Jackie's father contracted a terminal illness when he was about 40, and she had to step up and take on the role as the breadwinner of the household, as well as the matriarch. And it would have crushed and defeated a lesser person, but she excelled in both roles. Amazing. And she's been nothing but nice to me the whole way through. Yeah. God, you hear so many stories about mother-in-laws, father-in-laws, eh? But I've never had that problem. And then, like, if parents break up, you know, or you're considering breaking up, you got kids, what about the kids? Should you stay together just for the sake of the kids? I'd say probably yes, and maybe no. It's not cut and dry, is it? If mum and dad are fighting all the time and the atmosphere at home is miserable, if it's stifling and oppressive, then I'd definitely say no. That was my childhood. Well, that was the second half of my childhood. And thinking about it over the years, I would say it's probably a contributing factor to my choice to not have children, to not bring children into this world. Yeah. Yeah, my home life, it was shit. It was pretty shit up towards the end. It was, my dad was an alcoholic and he was a violent, abusive man. He wasn't violent, you know, to the extreme, But there was violence there. And the atmosphere at home, while it was home, it was so horrible that my mother, my little sister and I, we had to plan our escape and leave the family home while my father was at work because just, you didn't know, well, he actually did know. It yeah, lose his shit and do all sorts of stuff. So yeah, we had to sneak out and run away. So if that's your situation, then yes, definitely get a divorce. Then there's lots of other reasons for infidelity. If someone's cheating, and a lot of the times it seems like it's not so much about the hookup, it's more about the betrayal of trust. Because if your marriage or partnership doesn't have a solid foundation of trust, you're doomed. So, but some couples get over that and move on, and I guess it's personally specific, you know, whether or not you're willing to let it go. I know more than one couple who are still together after one of them cheated. So, but there's a bit of tit for tat going on there, and some couples thrive on the drama, don't they? So maybe that's the bonds that's keeping them together. Then you got married couples who are in loveless relationships, but they don't break up because it would mean a drop in their standard of living. Because nowadays, it's an absolute essential necessity to have a 2-income household just to make ends meet. But that's the reality of the debt-based fiat monetary system that we are forced to participate and live in. If all the currencies of the world weren't inherently deflationary by design, it would grant us all more freedom of choice, and it would give us back more free time. And that free time, because we could work on our relationships and spend it with our loved ones. But no. Hey, you all right? I gave me a fright. But no, we're all pushing shit uphill and chasing that carrot, and it's always just a bit out of reach, isn't it? It's our time, efforts and labour is stolen from us. And not only us, from our future generations, because the debt that's being incurred now won't get paid back in our lifetime. This is like national debt. So we've just enslaved our offspring to keep doing the same thing, but it's getting worse and worse and harder. Anyway, so yeah, with the money, what about if one partner is hiding or stealing money? Seen that quite a few times. Again, it's betrayal of trust, isn't it? I think Jackie and I have always been pretty honest with each other. Even more so in the last 10 years. We've actually been together for 32 years and married for 26 of them. Is that a good enough reason to stay together because of all the time spent together? just because we've been together this long? I'd say yes. I reckon it's definitely reason enough to try and salvage it, I reckon. I know some couples break up just because they say they're not in love anymore. I've never really understood that, because do they really mean love or lust? Because let's be honest, at some point there will come a day for every couple where it's the last day they'll ever be intimate again. And rarely I would say that two people are making the same decision at the same time. And what happens then? What if one of the couple wants to continue, having intimacy? And the other one doesn't? Is that a reasonable reason for a divorce? I mean, thinking about it, a marriage is supposed to be based on love and commitment, isn't it? It's not love and the number 6. So to break up because of that reason it'd be a tough choice. It'd be a tough choice. Especially if you still love the person. And I doubt it would garner you any respect from people looking in. So what's the alternative to no intimacy? Just abstinence, affairs, hall passes, or the services of professionals? That's a tough one, eh? Well, at least it is, speaking from a male's point of view. I can only really speak from my perspective, so to speak. And come to think of it now, all the broken relationships I've witnessed have been instigated by the male. So what does that say? I see a lot of couples break up because they don't fulfill the expectations of the other. Before I got married, I didn't consider what my wife's expectations were of me. I didn't ask. I didn't even think to ask. And now I recognise that was a mistake. And I've tried to change that. My marriage has lasted this long, I think, because we've always had pretty good communication and we've both compromised on occasions for each other. And the compromises weren't because we were forced to, it's because of consideration and mutual respect. We've always both felt that we both got the better deal of what we were getting from a partner, because I I'm surprised she stuck around for this long, putting up with all my shit and me doing what I want to do. But on the other side of it, she has the same luxury as well. She doesn't have to ask my permission to do anything. She wants to do it, she can do it. I'm not in charge of her, I'm not a boss. And who likes being told what to do? Oh, some people do, but I don't. I think if you strip away everything else, and if everything else is okay, and there's nothing egregious to hold the other person to account for, then the only other deal breaker that remains, well, for me anyway, is whether or not you still enjoy spending time with that person and whether or not you still love that person. Ultimately, they're the deal breakers for me. So my question to you is, do you still enjoy spending time with your partner? Do you still love your partner?